What's up, boys? Road to Lamborghini, episode 21. Got a special episode today. So, I was reading my Bible this morning and I came across a quote. I think I've already mentioned it actually in one of the previous episodes, probably like 10 or 11, episode 10 or 11. But it basically speaks about the key to discipline, okay? So, we all know, right, that we should do certain actions. We know that we should wake up early, we know that we should go to the gym, we know that we shouldn't procrastinate, we know that we should stay away from vices, we know that we should stay close to God, blah, 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 blah. But a lot of us don't do them, okay? Now, there's a couple things, right? So firstly, you've got to understand this, and I don't know why more Christians and just people in general don't speak about this. Laziness or slash sloth is one of the 7 deadly sins, okay? It's one of the 7 deadly sins, which are the worst sins, right? Let me compare it. We've got murder. That is one of the sins that we're comparing laziness to. So that's how extreme it is. So people think, oh yeah, well actually, you know what, it's fine, I woke up late and I didn't do this work, and then, you know, I didn't help my parents with this, and then I went to bed late, so then I woke up late the next day, and then I don't know, whatever, right? Went out drinking, and then I had some drugs, and then I did this. Okay, that is unacceptable. Like, actually think about it right now. Imagine, I don't know what I can and can't say on YouTube, so I'm not going to take it too extreme, but imagine someone, you know, you'd murdered someone, right? Like, imagine you murdered someone. Imagine how distraught people around you would be, and how surprised they'd be. They'd be like, what? Like, you know, I always knew this guy, he wasn't that bad, you know, of course he wasn't perfect, but he wouldn't have done that. They literally would be in disbelief, right? Now, of course, like, I'm not here saying, look, murder is as bad as laziness, or laziness is as bad as murder, whatever. I'm not even saying, you know, one is worse than the other. What I am saying is they are both in the 7 deadly sins, which shows you how extreme it is. So laziness isn't just something silly. This is the main key problem I see when people like talk about procrastination and laziness. They think it's like, oh well, yeah, if you want to really stop procrastinating, you can do these 3 things. What do you mean want to? It's literally a sin. Every single day that you procrastinate, it's a sin, right? It's like saying, oh, well, if you want to quit smoking coke, then you can. Oh, sorry, not smoking, what am I saying? Snorting, I'm tired, I literally only woke up like 30 minutes ago. If you want to stop snorting coke, you can. What do you mean you can? Like, you have to, otherwise you're literally ruining your whole life. It's the same with laziness. I don't know why people don't understand this. Money always comes back. Time does not. Every single day, there's new opportunities. Every second, every minute, you've got an opportunity to become a better version of yourself. Okay, but it starts to disappear after a certain point. And if you don't act now, like, when are you going to do it? I heard my mentor say this, and then after that, in a second, I'm going to open my laptop and share a Bible quote that should massively help you out. I heard one of my mentors used to say this, or he still does. And by the way, he makes like over $5 million profit per month, every single month. He said, like, when are you going to pull off? People always say, oh, well, I'll do it next month, I'll do it next year, I'll do it in 2 years. Why? Why would anything change? Like, genuinely ask yourself, if you're right now in uni and you've got 2 more years of uni and you're making excuses, you're like, well, after uni, I'll get started. Why? Why would you get started after uni? You know you're going to have to work a job. You know you're going to have at least a part-time job. Like, you're not going to do it after uni. In fact, every single month, week, and year that goes past without you getting rich, you lose a huge probability of getting rich. Like, literally, let's not talk about months, because months is quite a small period of time if you look at it in the bigger sector. I mean, it's not really, but like, if you really look at it, it's not, you know, quite as big. But 1 year, right? Every year that you don't become successful, I'd argue you lose at least 20% chance of you becoming successful ever. Like, I'd argue probably more than that, to be honest. Because here's the thing, logically, if you've been wanting to do something and you haven't even pulled it off or even got close after 4 years, are you going to carry on? 99% of people would say no. Meaning you've got, let's say, 4 years to get rich. I'd say it's less, to be honest. Because if you're trying, I'd say, like, logically, your brain is going to be like, all right, I'll give it a shot. But if after 2 years or 1 year and a half, or a lot of people would even do after 6 months, 12 months, but let's just say 2 years. If I, after 2 years of trying, still haven't seen any results, I'm not going to do it, right? I'm not going to carry on. That's how the brain thinks, right? I don't care how much willpower you think you have. If I hadn't pulled off after 5 years, I would have carried on, and I know I would have because I'm different, right? However, I still would have lost a ton of belief. That's just guaranteed. Like, that is just logical, right? But most people would have given up after 2 years of not pulling off. right? So what this means is you've got 2 years to get rich. Now, if you calculate that, that's like 24 months. So every month that goes past, you're losing like 5% chance of you ever getting rich, you ever retiring your parents, right? It's not like, oh, well, I'll do it next year. No, because you don't understand. How long can you tell your parents, oh, by the way, mom, dad, I'm going to become a millionaire? They'll just start saying, yeah, sure you will, sure you will. You've been saying this for the last 2 years, right? Even if they don't say that to your face because they're nice, they're going to subconsciously think that. Which is why it's so important not to procrastinate. Which is why it's so important that when you start on this journey and when you actually start trying to become rich and you start trying to become successful and to support your family and do all these things, you need to go all in. You need to try harder than harder than you're trying. Because if you don't, you're not going to pull it off, and then you're going to blame the business model, or you're going to blame external circumstances. Oh, well, actually, I was in uni while I was doing GCSE, so English exams. I was working Waitrose part-time. I was working in a restaurant on Saturdays. I was doing football on Sundays, and I was doing running for England when I started my online business. Okay? I was doing those 5 things, and I forgot to mention, I was also doing door-to-door sales after school. And I still managed to build an online business. And I still managed to get myself to a point in time where now I'm literally traveling the world, supporting my mum, supporting my dad, being able to support my family, being able to never have to work a 9 to 5 again, being able to literally travel and make way more money even while I'm traveling, even though I'm not working that long hours. Like literally being able to live the life I designed, the life of my dreams. Right, and as you can see by the title of this video, I'm going to be buying a Lamborghini Huracan, a black Lamborghini Huracan, by the age of 20 years old. The goal is to get it by 19, but we'll see what happens kind of there. But maximum by 20 years old. And like, boom, right? That should eliminate all your BS excuses. Oh, well, actually, I don't know if I have time. Bro, of course you have time. Just shut up, right? But anyway, let me now read you the Bible quote, okay? So yeah, this is just your sign. Just stop being lazy. So it's James 4:17. If anyone then knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is a sin for them. Or not even it is just it is sin for them. I'll read that one more time. If anyone then knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is sin for them. Right, I don't know if you guys can see this. I don't know if you'll focus. But you type in James 4:17. Okay, and you'll find it. I don't know if that quality's any better. I can't find like a big one. What about this one? Can you see that? Anyway, search it up. James 4:17. If anyone then knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is sin for them. That is such a powerful quote. That is so powerful. If anyone knows the good they ought to do, does not do it, it is sin for them. Like if you've just listened to this and you still haven't like made a decision to just stop being lazy and you're still procrastinating, you need to just read the Bible more and just get close to God and eliminate all distractions. Because once you get close to God, guess what happens? You want to please God. And the last thing you want to be doing is committing sins. And when you commit sins, it doesn't feel good inside. I can't really think of a single sin that feels good. Like I really can't. Like obviously I'm not saying it doesn't feel good in the moment. That's the whole point about delayed gratification. But like I can't think of a single sin which after a day or two you think, oh, I'm happy I did that, right? Or you're not ashamed of yourself. Like I really can't. So like yeah, you literally know you know what you need to do. Right, yesterday I had one sales call, okay, because I'm here in Valencia, I've been chilling a little bit, haven't been doing as much work. Today I'll probably have a couple more. I had a couple client calls and client check-ins and added new stuff to my program as well, but I only did one sales call. Okay, now that was a close it wasn't a pay in full, but we got him on contract value for the full amount, so it's going to be paid on a payment plan, right? It's legally binding, whatever. But like, when I was on that sales call, I had so much conviction because I knew that if I got off that sales call, and I don't like to use the word sales because I just like to use the word changing lives because that's what we do, right? But like when I was on that call, I knew I had to get him on board. Not because of the money. I don't really care about the money too much, right? Now, obviously bills need to be paid. If I was struggling financially, then I would care, but I'm in abundance of money, right? Money comes to me. Money's quite easy, to be fair, once you understand certain principles and you're just not incredibly lazy. But anyway, like, I knew that I had to get on board, not because of the money, but because I knew that I had to change his life. And if he didn't do that, even though he knew he should do that, and he knew what the right decision was to join, and he didn't join, that would have been a sin. Like, I don't think you guys understand. if you don't wake up early when you know you should wake up early, that is going to impact the amount of money you make, and that's the amount of money you make is going to impact the amount of people you can help and the amount of lives you can change and how you can support your parents. So you literally not wake up early means you won't be able to support your parents, which is literally a sin. It is literally a sin. Like, I don't understand why people don't understand this. In most parts of the world, apart from the UK and USA, in almost every other part, the man is expected to provide for his family. Right now, in certain Slavic countries like Slovakia, which is where I'm from, the man is expected to help not only his mum, not only his dad, not only his brother, sister, but basically the whole family. Right now, obviously, if you have like a brother, he'll help you as well, whatever. But that's how it's expected. Now, in a lot of these other countries, it's just the man supports, obviously his wife, the kids, and then his mum, dad, right? Or helps his mum, dad. But in like the Slavic countries, I like it the most because they're meant to literally help everyone in their family, whether it's their grandma, their granddad, their grandkids. Like, they're literally meant to support basically everyone. You're the pillar. You're the pillar of the family, right? You're the rock. I heard in the Bible is a quote about, I think it's Paul, right? The rock which God builds upon, right? That's how the man of the family is. Whereas in the UK and USA, it's so dumb. Like, I actually hate it. Like, I actually get very angry about this. It's so dumb how I see people like 30 years old and they're not even supporting their mum and dad. Like, they might be making a decent salary. They might be making 60K a year, which is considered decent, right? But they're living in the US, their bills are really high and they barely manage to keep any money. And they don't even support their mum or dad. Like, their mum and dad are still working when they're 60 years old. It's like, what is wrong with you? Like, how are you okay with that? Like, you listening to this right now, if you're anywhere over the age of 15, you should be literally panicking if you can't support your mum and dad, because it is your duty to support them. It is your duty. Like, I don't understand why people don't understand this. I really don't understand it. They think, oh, well, actually, no, because, they're my mum and dad, they can support themselves, I'll support myself. How selfish are you? The people who gave birth to you, you would not be on this planet if it wasn't for those two people, your mum and your dad, and you're not even going to support them? How selfish and how disgusting of a human are you to not support your mum and dad when you're in a first world country? Now, it's different if you're in a third world country. It's different if you're in flipping Nigeria and you're earning $1 a day, right? It's and if there's no flipping Wi-Fi, how are you going to support it? Like, it's very hard to do. But even there, this is the funny thing. Even in the third world countries, generally they actually support their parents and family more than they do here. Even though here you've got all the opportunity, you've got all the Wi-Fi, you've got all the internet and all the customers and clients you need online, and all the opportunity to do it, and you've got heating and you've got enough food and you've got enough water, and you're still not doing it? Do you not, like, sometimes, like, I'm not even joking, like, I'm not even going to exaggerate here. Would you not sometimes just wake up, look at yourself in the mirror and feel like pure disgust at the fact that the two people who brought you to life, the two people who sacrificed everything for you, you're not even sacrificing for them? You're not even supporting them? How pathetic of a life that is, right? And I really don't think I'm exaggerating here. Like, you might think, oh, Michael, why are you being so rude? Isn't that insulting? No. How pathetic of a life is it? I mean, did your parents really say, like, from the age of 0 when you were born, all the way to 18 when you're an adult, did they say, oh yeah, by the way, like, you know what, you'll have to pay for all those years that we supported you? No, they didn't. They supported you and they gave you unconditional love. Unconditional love. They didn't expect anything in return. And now you're 18, now you're 19, 20, 23, 25. I speak to some 30-year-olds, and you've got an opportunity to change your life. You've got an opportunity, whether it's, like, I don't even care. I'm not even just talking about my program and, well, it's not really a program, but my partnership company where I partner up and I help other people, be able to basically make money online and build their own businesses, support their own families. I'm not even just talking about that. But let's take that for example. You're on a call with someone who's supporting his own family, who's solo traveling the world, who can literally do whatever he wants, right? And you've got an opportunity to work with him one-to-one. You've seen the results, and you don't pull that trigger. That is disgusting. Like, it's not about the money. I don't give a shit about the money. I genuinely don't really care. It's about the commitment. The level of commitment you've got for yourself and for your family is going to decide the success you have. Okay, and the best way to find out how committed someone is not through words. I've heard so many people say to me, I've literally heard it on calls. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, Michael, like, you don't understand, like, I am committed to this. Like, I am really committed to this. Right, and I'm like, oh, okay, perfect. And then it gets to time of them actually joining, and they're like, oh, I actually don't know if I can do this. the fear starts to creep in, the devil starts to whisper in their ear. It's like bravery is admired, right? But nowadays everyone is so scared of everything. They're like, oh, well, what happens if I do this? You know what the biggest risk is? You know what the biggest risk in this world is? Not taking action. And you know what the even bigger risk is? Not taking risks. If you take zero risk imagine you just run through the world and you never take any risks. Like literally going to the gym is a risk. You could literally like tear your muscle. Right now, God willing, you won't, but you get my point. Everything is a risk. Everything good is a risk. Right now, some people just aren't willing to take that. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of this episode. I just find it insane. Right now, I'm very proud of the guy who obviously joined yesterday. I'm absolutely not talking about him because he joined. We've got him on board. He's about to change his life completely. Right, this is the start of an insane journey for him. But I'm talking about all those people of you, like all of you guys who watch this sort of content. You watch this video, and you still don't feel deep level of commitment to support your family. That's the key. And prove that commitment through action. Like if you really care about your mum and dad, you would stay away from vices. If you really care about your mum and dad, the people who did everything for you, you'd support them. If you really cared about your mum and dad, you'd literally be sleeping like 6-7 hours maximum per night to be able to support them. Like if I couldn't support my family right now, I'd find a way to. I'd work a part-time job, and then on top of that, like I'd work probably Uber or something else as well, right? And then on top of that, I'd start a business, like an online business. And because I know that online businesses aren't instant, it's not like you make money same day, or it's very unusual, then while I'm still posting content, documenting my journey and building a social media presence, I'd on top of that start running a proper like physical business. So like I did window cleaning door to door, I'd do something similar to that. Right, and guess what? Within 3 months, I'd support my family, probably less than that. So like, yeah, really take a hard look at yourself in the mirror and really ask yourself, how committed are you to helping your family? Because, you know, action trumps all words, right? They say like, what is it? 1 minute of action is worth 1,000 minutes of thinking or something like that. Right, but anyway, with that said, boys, that's the end of this episode. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Click the link in my Instagram, okay? You'll see a lot more content like this where I literally post daily. I show my whole journey. I document everything very raw and authentic. Plus, when you click my Instagram, you'll be the first to know about the vlog, which is going to drop probably Friday, Saturday this week, which is going to be like this whole Valencia trip, which I've been filming a lot of. So you'll see that as well. And yeah, see you boys soon.